have any downtime in the pause. We might see a little
your
stalemate around choke here, though, but who knows? Maybe the Rusters will have to wait for another
I don't
day.
think we're gonna see a stalemate as the Uber's coming out of here, out of house right there. They're bombing onto Spire, popping through. They're not really getting anything with this. They're getting right in there, but oh, finally they actually do get the counter pop coming out of Ampersand. And now he's just gonna roll forward, but there is a soldier up on Spire there. That's gonna distract a little bit of this Uber. And finally we have frags going down. Smithsonian the demo as well as Sam on Sniper both down. Now we've got the rest of Cooking with Coolio trailing in here because it looks like Long Live Meta are going to back off and give up the cap.
Yeah, they're off to last. Lambda is making a play up, down, drop down, but he might get flanked from somebody from main. No, Cookie instead decides to go this top right area, and it looks like everybody is going to be able to get back to last from Long Live the Meta, but with Cookie diving on the point there, they've put so much cap time on this Badlands last, they just need to flick it, and it would cap. But Bender on Pyro is going to be defending this last point. I think this is his main class at this point. And Hertz is coming in from the top left-hand side to see if he can deal some damage and maybe steal this cap out from under their noses.
Absolutely, he's bringing out the EU gimmicks in Australia. Kind of excited to see how this plays out, but is going to just be a little bit more of a back off here. They're not quite ready to commit. There is so much time, so they do have just Lambert sitting there with that heavy. And now the push is actually coming forward. They're rolling into upper lobby here, and with the Pyro just denying this Uber in the exchange. A little bit more flashing is coming out of the blue team, but they have done such a good job of stuffing it. And it hurts. He's getting so damaged, but oh, in the backside, Dyslexia and Cookie take more kills there. So a two-man advantage coming in here for Cooking with Coolio. But Smithsonian down is not going to help the cause either. The heavy's just eating so much spam there. They're getting on the point, and there we go. As that soldier went sky high, but managed to not crater as he got the last kill.
A bit interesting to commit to that Uber v Uber fight in top right with a Pyro and your pocket, because I think Bender was trying to air blast the other pocket back into a position where he could be finished off, and actually did a lot of damage with the reflect, but just ended up giving his own life away. We'll see how this next mid plays out though. Long Live the Meta, 1-0 down, and it's on them to make something happen. Both of their soldiers on their train going to bomb in, but Locke takes a lot of damage, but does secure the first 2 frags for his team. Campbell's been isolated as well and will get picked off, and they have not lost anybody here. The Cooking with Coolio squad pushing forwards, generating their health, and are going to roll around this choke area, try and put some pressure on. But Smithsonian, he's in 2 minds here of whether he wants to commit or not with this Uber charge that he's just about to get, but it looks like it's too late for me.
Absolutely, it is too late. They're backing up to last year. The fortunate thing for them is Ampersand did not go down, because if he went down and they didn't manage to kill anybody, this would be like not even a 2-minute round, because they could just roll in here with that Uber charge and push in a lasting cap. Fortunately, Amper did live, so he will have an Uber charge to kind of put up more of a fight here. Although, hopefully they don't decide to take that with pushing a Pyro and Soldier into upper lobby. Because that clearly
take a look at
last time.
it didn't at all. Take a look at Sam here. He wanted to make a play onto Spy and went and collected the ammo kit in lower lobby, realized that Cooking with Coolio went absolutely nowhere near, and just decided to back out to last. So the eponymous Coolio is going to be moving forwards here now with the Uber charge, and they are going to take upper lobby, and Sam's gone once again onto Spy. Unfortunately, instantly dies though as he tries to come out this bottom right area as Hertz is on him.
Hertz is too smart, and now with that, they're having the Uber exchange here up in upper lobby. Nobody has really died yet. Hertz trades out with the Bender, and now the soldier just getting juggled around in that pipe is going to be good for the defense, but there is still Cookie, and Cookie's a beast as he walks in and headshots Smithsonian. Demo's trapping the point, and he picks up move. It's a scout and medic here with Cookie trying to do what he can. Will he get the freedom staffs? No, he's going to get taken out, but the Demo's working in here, and what a pipe! And the melee from the medic coming out. The Uber saw keeping his team alive, and now Coolio is in no man's land here, being hunted by a scout, and he is taken out. So kind of a miraculous last hold there.
That was a really clutch defense by Sam. He hit his shots perfectly. The sniper came in and was trying to melee him down. Unfortunately, they didn't sync it up between Moop and Cookie, but if they had done, they would have had possibly more of an opportunity to take that last point, but Ampersand has been taken down with a fully charged body shot as well from Cookie, so they're going to be starting to move forwards once again. The back cab just gets it anyway. Locke is in on Soldier, on last, and camps that one out. So it's 2-0 already. And they're really dominant on the mid fight so far. Both of the mids have gone the way of cooking with Coolio. The last one was pretty clear as well, and not a single casualty on their side.
Yeah, I'm absolutely looking for a much better mid-fight out of them. And they are going down this valley side. Demo's up on balcony. And there's a very forward scout here. That's a Bender. He doesn't have the support. Now the soldiers are coming in, and Lambda and Sam are down already. Nobody has died for cooking yet. It hurts finally the first one as Smithsonian hits a fat pipe going in there. But his team's just got to back off. It's a Bender down now. Ooh. And that's, again, not really anyone dying on cooking with Coolio. And the pursuit is in here. There's a scout and soldier pressing into lobby. The scout could get behind.
Cookie's in on them. He's
right
just
in.
absolutely mashing. He two-shot Smithsonian, and he looked like he was going to get the better end of Sam as well, but Campbell comes in and stops that one short. Nonetheless, they have picked up Spire.
And once again, neither medic died, which is still that fortunate situation here. And maybe a medic will die as Sam is peeking very heavily into lobby here. They haven't entered. And a Bender is on Pyro. He's on Hertz, and nobody's near him. And now he's walking into lobby. He's on a scout, and he might get him. He's going to get him with the burn. But I missed on the other side. The Ubers were exchanged in lobby.
Yeah, they have. They've been exchanged in lobby, and it looks like the cookers are going to get the better end of this one. The chefs are in, and they are cooking with gas. There's only 3 of the Long Live the Meta players alive. Lambda's doing a decent job at stalling people out, actually. Just sitting on this above area, but unfortunately he is going to fall in the end. And Abender and Sam can't spawn in time to block that one. So only 8.5 minutes and it's already 3-0. And they're just reeling off the back of these mid losses at the moment. The last 2 mids have really gone badly here for Long Live the Meta. I'd really like to see more aggression from a single soldier. They seem to stack their soldiers up, and they both take the same damage on the mid fight. So I'm looking for Lambda and Campbell really on this mid to do something different and set themselves up.
Well, and they're playing a little bit more passively. They're back on their side. A Bender has picked up a kill as well onto a scout counterpart. And there's a soldier right in, and Coolio gets taken out by some combined spam, but the fight is still going down here. And cooking with Coolio is working way back into this. Soldier is very hurt. He'll be shotgunned down. And Smithsonian.
Coolio could clean both of these. Cookie could clean both of these players up here. He's coming in and trying to put damage onto Campbell. We'll find him. Sam had to go and get the health kit, and now he's taking on 1v1 again. This is. I'm getting flashbacks from the first mid here, but this time Sam gets the better end of it. Had slightly more health and hit a nice first shot, and does survive with 50 health. But Diley's coming in.
He's not going to survive now.
The super sub finishes it off. But the respawners are still coming in. This mid fight is going to carry on. Abender and Lambda coming in along with the heals, and it's going to be a 3v3 on mid.
And we're going to see what's going to happen here. Is the scout are kind of poking and prodding, and the soldier right in there picks up everything. He will be taken out, but now the follow-up is going to be too strong. Lambda's doing everything he can, but he's so hurt. Abender trying to get these kills, but they're going to have to back up and give this mid away because Coolio managing to heal his team. And, you know, without the heals of Ampersand, there's not a lot they can do in that fight.
It was really great by Locke to be able to get in and finish off Ampersand in 2 crisp rockets there. Just the first one donked Ampersand on the head, and there was absolutely nothing he could do. He was just rooted to the spot and finished off with the second rocket. Really nice work from him. But Lambda put in a lot of work to even make the mid-fight as competitive as it was right at the beginning with a huge bomb. And Abender is on Pyro once again. It looks like defending drop down here to try and block Sam from being pressured. So an interesting little duo there, but Sam's popping off shots, can't quite find anything, and now Locke is on him, is going to pick up that frag. And with the supercharge advantage, Coolio and Moop are looking to get in. Coolio took a big rocket there though.
There are no soldiers here. This could still be a bit of a fight back coming. And that's exactly what they're starting to prod, but they have given away this point. And now with the cap down, I think they realize that it's a smarter situation for them to back up and at least give them a better shot at holding last.
Abender once again on the Pyro is going to be holding from Lord knows where. It looks like he's actually was looking to push the bottom left here. I mean, classically you'd see the Pyro holding in the top right to deny an Uber, but he's just working this utility Pyro here. And I mean, fair enough really. Scouts, when the Ubers are actually up, are really not that useful in a last push or last defense. You have to wait until the Ubers are out of the equation before the Scouts can really have make a lot of work, but Abender's going to find it a little bit difficult to get back into spawn as the Ubers are traded, but Sam's going to help his team out.
Wow. Nice shot by him. Did you just get, he's just kind of peeking into that lobby area. Barely saw anything. Abender going on the counter sack is Pyro. And I don't think he managed to find anything there. Now the Ubers are popped off here. Exchange. Someone trying to find something, and it looks like they're actually getting right in on Smithsonian. He's surfing. He lands up and gets back into spawn. Nice surf from him. Lambda goes down, Lock on the other side, and Smithsonian coming out of spawn, taken out by a trap. So now it is looking very good. No stickies on that point, and it does cap really fast. So they're just going to put some time on it here. And they're collapsing to it, so their soldiers are just going to spam away. And they pick up round 4.
That was actually
looking good.
That was actually incredibly poor defense, though, from Long Live the Meta as well. They had this Uber trade on the top right that was so much better for them, and I think it was Locke went incredibly deep and even managed to trade with Lamb, just completely oblivious. Just watched him walk in and got traded with the pocket, and it completely opened things up for his team. 4-0. The pressure really is on Long Live the Meta here, and they've just decided not to even go to mid. They're running Sam from Choker, and they're just going to try and utilize this sniper, but Smithsonian falls straight away, and this is going to be horrific here, because now they've given up mid, and they've got an opportunity to push in now as well, cooking with Coolio. And 3 players have fallen, 4 players have fallen, only Sam on 16 health, and Ampersand running away. That decision backfired. In all my years of playing and casting TF2, I don't think I've ever seen a justifiable decision to not push mid. And Cookie going right in there on Smithsonian, trying to see if he can make this an even easier push. Got taken out there. They have managed to get the Ubercharge, though. Ampersand did escape, so back to this default Badlands last hold here for Long Live the Meta. But they have to turn something around. They have to be able to deny this Ubercharge fight coming in. So they've got Sam behind, and he's going to try and take a 1v1 with Cookie. Got a really good shot off there, and he's going to win that 1v1, but he's going to get picked up. So bought a little bit of time, but the time is something that they have tons of at the moment. They have 16 minutes to get back here. They don't need more time. What they actually need is a fight to go their way on last.
And this will hopefully be the first one. That's what they're looking for. But Smithsonian very far forward here, getting very hurt. He could be taken out there, and they're actually just going to pop into him. And his medic has to pop to save him. That's Ampersand throwing some flashes around. Sam actually runs in and gets 2. That's both scouts down here. Sorry, a scout to sniper, so really good play from him. He will be taken out, and now the hunt is coming down. Locked down as well. This is looking very good, as they finally managed to pick up most of the frags in that situation. They are
Moop
rolling
is still
out here.
holding. Yeah, Moop's still holding around this choke area, and Abender and Smithsonian have pressured him back. Smithsonian's going to jump, though, and puts himself in a position where Diley can possibly pick him off. Diley just applies a bit of pressure and escapes through the choke point, though. Both of these teams
watch out.
are around
Perch is
50.
up on bats. It looks like he got spotted out. He's not going to try anything. I thought for a second he had a chance to go all the way back to last, but he didn't do it. And Locke taking a lot of damages. They start to move forward into choke. He will have to back up.
Looks like Locke's coming to trade the Uber charges on Haunter, and Ampersand only just got it there, and his Pocket and Demo have taken a little chunk of damage, but they're just going to trade these Ubers, and Locke has gone all the way to Spire. Campbell following him, great decision making there, but Smithsonian's been left alone and does fall, and this has opened the gates for people to flood in from choke, and this is a fight gone horribly wrong once again. Long Live the Meta, going to have to flood back to their last, and Ampersand is being chased as well, but Diley got the needles out. Great stuff by Ampersand. Is that the Bloodsauger, actually? Who knows, but either way, Ampersand defending, but unfortunately players falling all around.
Yeah, with just Smithsonian, and then finally he's got Lambda spawning. This is going to be goodbye for map 1.
Well, Dreamboat, I wasn't expecting it to be like that. That was, in almost every team fight, it seemed that Cooking with Coolio came out on top. It was really great stuff from them. The focus fire onto Smithsonian whenever he was the furthest player forwards was great. He wasn't particularly out of position. I felt like it was more he wasn't getting the backup from his team that he required. So I'm not going to put the blame on Smith. But I think that Cooking with Coolio did an excellent job of focusing him down whenever his team had abandoned him to go and deal with somebody else behind. And it seemed like they were doing that a lot with their Ubers, was just they enjoyed trading their Ubers and then just sending Locke really deep behind in order to open things up around the choke, because they know that Smithsonian and his pocket are going to be separated in that situation. So they absolutely exploited Long Live the Meta there and destroyed them 5-0.
And yeah, I mean, if you can't win mids too, like if you can't, with the exception of 2 mids where they managed to, lose them by 1v1s in kind of crushing fashion, but like the other ones were just total slams on mid. There was one they didn't kill anybody, they got 1 kill. And when you're struggling to win a mid fight, when you can't even win one in a game, that puts you in such a bad position, especially on Badlands. Fortunately, they managed to keep their medic up, but it just wasn't enough. They couldn't come out of any of the team fights, as you said. But hopefully Process turns out better for them.
Yeah, hopefully Process might turn out better. I'm taking a look at the logs at the moment. Cookie and Hertz had a monster game. The flank from Cooking with Coolio was just obliterating people. They both had 283 DPM, and they had a KD of 3 and 2.4 respectively. 22 for 9 and 15 for 5, and they were just running all over people. I mean, it is a 5-0 roll, so the stats aren't quite, they don't tell the whole story, but the frag differential here is huge. Smithsonian died the most on his team as well, apart from Sam, tied with Lambda and Abenda, and that's just too many times. You only played really 13 minutes and you died 12 times. That's really not great, but as I said, I think it was more to do with his team rather than where he was positioning himself.
Yeah, if you don't have anybody stopping people from just plowing into you when you're a demo man, they're just gonna plow into you and kill you. And I mean, his positioning, as you said, looked pretty solid. It wasn't world class, but he wasn't making enough positioning mistakes to the point that he should have had 12 deaths. It's just, as you said, his team was not playing around him. On the other hand, we're pointing out who's dying a lot. Coolio, he died 3 times. Like there were 2 rounds where he didn't die.
Yeah, that's really, really good stuff from Coolio. The team was just keeping him alive so much, and a bit of the credit can be given to his pocket as well. But it seems like he was really going deep and leaving it to his pocket scout. So good stuff from Diley, who just subbed in there and was able to take that role. It seemed Cookie seemed to be playing a little more aggressively and leaving it to Diley to make sure that Coolio stayed alive, and any aggression was dealt with quite quickly. But hopefully on this map we'll see them change it up, because the mid fights, if they can get a better end of it, they'll be put in an attacking position and be able to actually move forward, because it seems like Long Live the Meta are really uncomfortable on defense.
It's definitely worth watching. Now, give us, give the people in chat who aren't too, aware maybe of the huge differences between the mids on a map like Badlands compared to Process, and just because we do have a lot of matchmaking people here who might not be too familiar with what the whole competitive TF2 thing's like. So just give them a quick rundown on how these 2 mids differ, how they play out differently.
So a lot of how the Badlands mid breaks down is to do with your soldiers and how you're capitalizing on the space that they give you. So you're able to push across the point really easily. Pushing across the point, literally on top of the point, gives you the best position as well on Badlands. Whereas if we're looking at Process, it's way more about high ground control. The point is kind of in a recess, and this gives scouts a load of room to maneuver if you're on top. You'll also see the demos and the soldiers occasionally going quickly in order to establish position, but there's kind of like a little metagame there as well, where if your soldiers are going aggressive, then your demo can put some early damage on them, and it can end up not being favorable for your team. Really, what this mid comes down to is how well your scouts are playing the high ground, in my opinion. If you've got some decent demo spam on the top ground and soldiers contesting as well, that all helps, but if you've got some good scouts who can play the high ground well, you're going to have a really good time on this mid.
And that bodes well for Cookie. And speaking of fast, Lambda going fast in there does not manage to pick off the demo man. And now we're just kind of seeing the spam getting traded around. Bombs are starting to go up for this high ground. They're contesting it. Sam the first casualty in that situation. And a Bender down 2, which means it's got to be another back out. Campbell down 2, Moop hitting a big pipe. And another poor mid, and it looks like Smithsonian could get caught here. He's going to, in a Bender. Will he die here too? He gets a saw and gets Uber to get out. So, wow, not quite what I was expecting.
Actually, that was a bit of a poor pop as well. I can't really be too harsh on him because he did manage to get the Uber Saw in order to give him the Uber charge, and he was in a bit of a panic because there was 2 scouts chasing him. But he was on about 130 health, and Lambda was around to deal with that second scout, so I would have liked to see him try and hold it for maybe a little bit longer, but I can't give him too much stick, as I say, because he did manage to get the Uber charge himself, taking the initiative and swinging a scout to death in order to get it from him. That's perfectly fine, but it has given Coolio 100% advantage, which is dwindling away now. Actually, it's more like 40% advantage. They really don't want to push with this for some reason. They're taking a long time, and Ampersand might actually have it. Only needs another 10 seconds, and they're building furiously on the back of this balcony with Campbell.
Absolutely, he's already up to 90 as the push is coming in here. 91, Lambda down. It's going to be so close. They might contest this if they get it in time. Now the positioning is so bad, but they do have... And here it comes. Smithsonian down, but the Ubers are being exchanged. Sam, though, taken out in that Uber. But so much flashing from Blue. They get the demo, man. That's Boop. Now it could go anywhere from here. The soldier's just stuck doing work. He actually gets knocked away, taken out, and... Oh, a better leaves Ampersand. So... Oh, actually, the Needle is doing a good job of keeping the medic alive there. He's just whipping him out, trying to do what he can to back off, and he will live for this last hold.
Yeah, you really don't see medics using needles very often, but Ampersand whipping him out, trying to keep himself alive in quite a few of these situations. Nice reflect there from a Bender, and Sam comes in to finish off Hertz. And that whole defense on second was really sloppy from Long Live the Meta again. They dropped 2 players before they even had a chance to get the Uber charge and contest. Then Ampersand dropped Sam in the middle of the Uber charge. Really unforgivable drop, actually, as well. And they had to give up the Spire. It was really lucky, actually, that Cook and Coolio weren't able just to storm in and take the entire round off that. But they'll be looking to do that just about now, as both of the Uber charges are up, and they have a pick on a Bender. So, looks like Locke's going to take one of his fat solo Uber charges in, but he's just peek and roll out and seeing where he can get an entry.
Well, now that he's given the time, he lets Sam come up, who takes out Diley. And, geez, that was, it was going to give him a hard time for a little bit of a feed there, as he really didn't have much to go off of to die, but instead he comes up and, rectifies his mistake with a big headshot. He might look for some more here as he's sitting in that lobby area.
They've chosen just to move Diley off to Sniper, and we're going to see a Sniper v Sniper now. Sam, I think, is going for this fully charged body shot on somebody's ankles as they run along this left-hand side. He's just moving his position now to see whether he can find anybody peeking. But Cooking with Coolio, they're wise to it. They know that if they just keep Diley buffed, he'll probably find a pick onto somebody else peeking in a lobby or something like that. So he's going to be moving forward very slowly. Got the Razorback equipped. Not really sure why, but nonetheless, it's a sniper rifle that's going to be doing work, not his secondary weapon. So it's not going to make any difference at all. And we're just going to see these 2 snipers rotating until one of them finds a decent sightline, or maybe even finds the other, and opens up a pick for their team.
And they do find each other. Diley taking off Sam. I was going to give him a hard time saying that not using the cozy campers feeding, but Campbell gets 2 on the other side, even though the Ubers popped out. Smithsonian gets another. And this is looking really good. Coolio taken out by a sentry gun. And that was like a miracle hold just from Campbell hitting people with the same rocket.
Yeah, Campbell destroyed Diley and Cookie, and they've actually respawned on 2 snipers. They're using double sniper, or is one of them still in spawn? No, it looks like they actually are. They have both snipers. Cookie is in the sewers, has just now, and Diley is sat all the way back at their sewers. So they've got this double sniper setup, and Cookie has switched back off to scout. So it looks like they prefer having Diley on sniper, but Cookie was just taking a few shots while he was respawning. So I thought we were going to see a really interesting double sniper on Process, the old Broder strategy, but instead they're just going to be running Diley, seeing if he can get a pick off on anything. Hasn't anything as the Long Live the Meta team looked like they wanted to push. They've got a sentry! I didn't see that! They've pushed the sentry all the way up to choke. But Bender's gimmick's not going to work out this time, and he's going to build it behind the rock instead.
Oh my goodness, the gimmicks are too strong. Well, I mean, for our entertainment
Very
sake,
weak.
not for
Yeah.
performance sake.
In terms of their actual success.
But
Oh, and Ampersand has popped off the Uber on nobody. Has dropped their players. And Smithsonian just receives the tail end of it. But now Coolio with a full Ubercharge advantage. They're going to be popping in. They're going to look to focus frags here. They've got Diley sniping as well. They don't have anybody alive to play the point.
How lucky! He has 2 soldiers on top of him in front of Shutter, and they're juggling him, and he escapes on 9 HP by the Shutter door shut. And now he's actually doing such work in this hole. But Diley, on a 3K, picks off Sam Lambda, and he's still looking for more. He could be the difference maker here. They might just walk right into him, and he gets to scout too. Can he get the last one he does? 5K for Diley to win the round.
That really did win the round, because it was looking dire. If Diley hadn't got those frags, then Long Live the Meta should have been able to hold, because as you say, Smithsonian was able to just wiggle out of it somehow, and people were staying alive. They had nobody to pressure the point, so they just had to deal with the frags, and Long Live the Meta were kiting them. Look at Lambda going aggressive on this first mid, but it's actually Hertz who goes aggressive on the other side and picks up Smithsonian, and now he's in sewers, delaying the entirety of Long Live the Meta, and they shouldn't even be contesting this mid now. They've given up so much position. If they come in through choke, oh, Lambda comes in from behind, isn't able to pick up anybody there, and now Locke is going to go counter-aggressive and see if he can pick up any frags. Throws his life away, though.
Walking into scattergun hell, as he's got a soldier running a shotgun in front of him, too, and he just gets mulched by the pellets. And that actually is going to do enough to finally... We've seen a map in a bit, and it might be the first mid-cap. Oh, but the bomb's coming back in here. Hurt's doing what he can. This is another hotly contested mid here. Still, we're going into mid-fight number 2. Is there just so much better positioning on Cooking with Coolio? But the Uber's popped off here. Exchange. No one has died. No one has capped. And Ampersand is going to Coliseum just to back up. I thought they were going to win a mid here. And they just can't do it.
No, unfortunately not. And Campbell's Ubercharge doesn't get anything done either. Gets stuck in and has to sacrifice his life for a little bit of damage. Really unable to make anything happen with these Uber trades. Campbell, Locke seems to be getting the better end of them most of the time. Really well backed up by his team, though, is Locke. And the entirety of Cooking with Coolio are storming forwards now. They are bleeding a few players. This might give an opportunity to Long Live the Meta to come back into it. Bender and Lambda seem to want to take this opportunity.
And taking it they are, as they're just moving so far forward. They might get the cap here. But now the counter bombs and the spam are coming in here. They do manage to get the cap. This could be very bad. Campbell down already. And a Bender. Sam is just walking to 2 people too. He might get taken out here. No, they're just going to back up. They say, we have a cap and that's enough for me. But Lambda, he's being pressured by scouts and soldiers. They're chasing for him. And Diley actually was just going to feed there. Walks into rollout. It's his life taken away. But the Uber from Locke takes Smithsonian's the exchange down here. But so much flashing needed just to keep his scout and soldier alive. They actually do have the slightly better Uber, and they pick off Locke. That's the heavy doing that work. Event. Hertz goes down here too. And now it's another good process last hold so far. Lambda actually came out right behind Cookie. Couldn't get him.
Look at a Bender. Look at a Bender, Dreamboat. He's just so far forwards with this Tomislav heavy. He's making as much room as he possibly can for his team in this lobby area. And choosing not to defend last with the defensive class. He's seen heavy frag videos. He wants to go out there and make the frags happen himself. He is going to back off to last though now, and they also have a sniper. So the patented heavy sniper strat. But they still have to hold on to this and try and work an angle and open something up.
Now, Satcha, I don't know how much ESEA Intermediate you've watched, but a couple seasons ago, it was a game for the Grime versus, I think it was Champagne and Cocaine. Sezco with Bopper Heavy, right about where a Bender's playing right now, dropped the medic with his punching gloves, and then got the crits and went on a 4K. Do you think that's what a Bender's going for? The Sezco play.
I hope so. I absolutely hope so. I don't think he has the KGB on. As far as I could tell, he's just using the normal gloves, but the Ubers have been traded in lobby. Oh, and Campbell gets dropped! Ampersand seems to be having an absolute nightmare on Medic today, dropping players all over the place in these Uber charges, and this has really opened the floodgates here. Both of the scouts swarming in there. Cookie and Diley are not to be denied, and that 2-0 is going to set them off really nicely on the second map after a 5-0 on Badlands.
Amber, what was that? How? Well, I'm so confused. How do you drop a soldier in that position? Like, you can't.
I'm really not sure. Yeah, it was a solo Uber charge, so I'm not quite sure how. I assume they got juggled away from each other and they had just committed to a bad situation, but
Okay,
yeah,
Sam.
it's a little bit difficult.
Sam on this mid fight runs sniper to mid and he opens it up by picking off Diley with a huge headshot. Smithsonian is taken out by a move. Demo on the other team is pushed so far in, but now the frags are again coming in. Lambda and Bender, though, they do couple to get Cookie and Hurts, and they might win this bit. Yeah, Coolio down 2. It's just a demo man. He's got a lot of hit scan to deal with, and he deals with one that's a better, and he deals with the other.
And now he's just got Lambda, who's behind him.
Lambda.
He doesn't really know where he is, and there's no way he's going to be able to deal with Lambda there. He just had no information on where Lambda was after Lambda got in and had a nice wall shot on Coolio to take him down. And now Diley, are they still going to take this mid with superior spawns? It looks like they still might. Long live the meta, just cannot catch a break. Even when they come out with some clutch plays on the mid and look like they've taken it, somebody just turns it around for cooking with Coolio.
Well, they're not giving up here yet. We do have the fight. They do pick up Hurts too early, which is a start Cookie down as well. This is looking like we might finally have one for them, but the bomb's coming in here. Lockdown down 2. And finally, it looked like we were going to have it a couple rounds ago. But long live the meta. Break the meta with the sniper to mid and win the mid.
Yeah, that was a really nice repush by them. And they've now got Sam and Lambda really far forwards as well, just harassing Coolio and making sure that the entirety of their team is out. And they've got a 10-second advantage here as well. I'm not sure whether they really know that they have it or are going to fully use it. Ampersand is getting pressured a little bit. Oh, Locke was so weak there as well. And this Ubercharge advantage is just dwindling away, slowly disappearing. And it looks like it's going to be equal Ubers by the time they actually commit to a last push.
And it is going to be indeed there. Don't see an off flats up here on defense, which means when these Ubers come out here, they can just force the right flashes. They should win it. But Lambda taken out by Diley on the backside. And this Uber is very bad. And now the other one's coming in the other way. Cookie just going in. Cookie went deep there. And he didn't really find much. Locke taken out by a Bender on the other side. A Bender still fighting a scout. Will be taken out here. We're just having trades all over the board. But I expect the sniper here. A Bender's down. You'd think he's coming up something. But actually the push is coming out. Cookie's walking really far forward. He'll be taken out. So with the man advantage, they might just have a Bender come and scout here and see if they can still push while Cookie's down.
Yeah, that would be my choice. I think if you walk in from this right-hand side and establish some position while Cookie's down, it could be really nice for your team. It looks like that's what they're doing, actually. Sam taking a bit of position, and now Campbell's backing them up. They've got the pocket playing on this right-hand side. Sam's taken down, trades with Locke, though. Oh, and Diley just comes in at 2 shots. Ampersand is also going to take down Campbell. Huge play from Diley there, and the whole team has crumbled of long live the meta. Only Smithsonian, he's not going to survive, surely. Cookie completely missed him. Cookie's gone all the way through choke. Is he going to come behind him in PC?
Yeah,
Cookie's
he
a god.
finds it. Oh, I thought he was going to be so hard by just not taking a quick look in there to see something. He fortunately does find Smithsonian in the end, but they will get mid here too. Just Cookie's got so much time on that. There's no real contention. All it is Salmon choke. Gets Diley again. Flashbacks from that mid fight. Is Diley, once again, the resulting casualty of a sniper bullet.
So they've got a heavy and a sniper on this defense here of second. Oh, they've popped in already. They have popped completely blind into this situation. They have no idea that there's a heavy here. This could go really badly for them, but Abender's not connected with the heals at all. Abender and Ampersand have just decided not to stay together. Ampersand has decided just to get out of there completely once pressured with Locke, but Locke comes back in and Ampersand peaks once again, and Locke's managed to pick up the pocket and the medic. Locke and Diley both managing within the space of a round to 2v1 the Campbell Ampersand combo, and there's some problems with the Long Live the Meta squad and how they're working their combo, working their heals in this game.
Yeah, it's questionable at best in terms of how it's coming down. I feel really bad for them, but you know, when you're doing that kind of stuff with your combo, like that desynchronization, not healing the right guys, dropping people, you can't expect to win. And that's really what we've seen here. Let's mid fight though. Smithsonian doing work here on the left hand side, trying to see if he can have another win for his team. Hitting a nice couple pipes there, just connecting them beautifully, but the health is not good for his team. And with the ampersand down 2, this is looking very good again for Cooking with Coolio. Oh, they do get Coolio though. Lambda, that's going way in deep. Cookie down as well. And finally another good couple kills there. Sam though, he has to deal with 2 soldiers. I would, of course, rather have a scout in this situation, and Sam would be one of the scouts I'd be more wanting. But it hurts with a nice bombing rocket. We'll win the mid.
Yeah, Locke had a fantastic mid-fight, though. He bombed in aggressively ahead of his team once they had set up some position on the right-hand side from their perspective, and took down Ampersand in 2 rockets, and then turns around and gets another 2 frags on players when he's incredibly weak, just with no attention on him. But we see another repush in from Long Live the Meta. They really don't want to give this up. They want to take all of these scrappy fights and convert them, and Moop goes down, actually, so that's going to set things up really nicely. They need to pressure these guys off the high ground, though, and Locke and Cookie there taking a lot of position for their team. They should get slowly pressured out here because it's 6v4. The health advantage and the player advantage is in favor of Long Live the Meta, and they're going to recap this middle point, but they're 3-0 down and they need to start really amping up the pace. And Lambda's in deep. Lambda's in so deep, trying to get onto Coolio, but Coolio's giving him the dodges and survives on 90% and 50 health and pops it off. Lambda says the beef in chat, and it really was the beef.
You're gonna have to take over here slightly. My TF2 has entered PowerPoint mode. I'm getting 5 FPS.
I love the 5 FPS. I was getting that yesterday while I was playing. Oh, Smithsonian's been juggled in, but does manage to trade with Moop. So really nice from him to be able to trade once caught out in that position. But both of the demo men out of the equation, and everybody from Long Live the Meta is so split up. Ampersand is the only one alive, along with Lambda. And Lambda's just completely separated. Coolio and the rest of his team pushing forward. Cookie's trying to take this fight on sewers, and instead has just got mid completely for his team. With Sam and Abenda both down, both of the scouts out of the equation, it's very difficult to recontest this middle point. And now only 12 minutes, and they still have yet to put a round on the board in both of these maps. Long Live the Meta. They've got a decent... They've had decent opportunities to do it on process, at least, but just haven't been able to convert. Oh, but the big bomb in here from Lambda is going to... Oh, he's going to pick up Cookie and force the overcharge, but in the backside, Hertz has come in and dropped Ampersand. So both of the medics essentially out of the equation in terms of overcharges. But the frags did go the way of Long Live the Meta, so they're going to be able to hold on to this and wait for Ampersand to spawn.
And I figured out my PowerPoint issues. No Windows. I do not want to upgrade to Windows 10 right now. So that getting rid of that pop-up seems to have fixed my issues. If only it was that easy for Long Live the Meta to fix their issues, as Lambda loses a fight to Locke in sewers.
No, we do not want to upgrade to the Reddit meta. That's what they're all saying now. And Abenda is, you know, I think he is the Reddit personified at the moment. We've been seeing some revolutionized metas.
What plays
oh my
there?
God.
Just taking out Hertz.
Onto Hertz.
Smithsonian.
What a pipe.
Wow. But it's not going to help him with his life because Cookie is a god and decides to just run in and say, hey, I want a 2K. And he picks up the demo with it. Now the Ubers are out here. Locke can't mimic the air shot success, but he will take out Lambda in the end. He's just going to stand on that point as Ampersand can't do anything.
They seem to be getting the better of every single exchange into second. It doesn't matter what Long Live the Meta throw at them in this second defense. Their positioning is really quite poor, and Cooking with Coolio are able just to exploit it every single time. So as soon as they lose the mid and they're on defense on second, it's going badly for Long Live the Meta. They really need to either win these mids or change something up on second. Smithsonian's been pressured so hard, their Moop is getting the better end of him in almost every one of these mid fights here. And
oh
that's
my lord, Hertz! Did you see that air shot onto Lambda? He absolutely crushed him there. And that's just going on to the absolutely devastating mid his team has dished out here. And that's including a Diley sniper who picks off a bender to end it. But what a rocket there, getting quite a high up air shot too.
Ampersand might be getting chased down here. Hurt's really going for it, but that was a bit optimistic. Hits Ampersand for about 50 damage, but they're going to be able to recontest. But this is the situation where they've just beefed so many times. Is this hold on second? Their positioning with the heals compared to where their aggressive players are has been quite poor in these other fights. So it looks like they just want to go on the aggress. They want to go aggressive and see if they can just take it straight to Cooking with Coolio. Going to trade the Ubers really deep here, but Cookie's got behind.
Yeah, they have to waste so much this Uber to go back and get the back cap, and of course that leaves the people who stayed in out to dry as they just get fragged by shiny people. And now coming back in here, you know, the holding strat didn't work, and now the pushing strat hasn't worked, and now they need to set up on last. A Bender and a Lambda on heavy, taking a page out of the Bugs book. Not quite the 5 heavy strat. We got the double heavy strat. And oh, actually, no, Lambda going to Pyro now. I got a little excited. But no, we're still having a bit of a hold here. Diley and Hertz are down. And Sam runs in, gets moved too. That's the Demo Man taking out. That's gonna.
But they haven't seen Locke. They haven't seen Locke going all the way to last, and he's on the back cap. Smithsonian's going to try and block it, and he should be able to take him down here. And Locke is just running away into lobby. Lambda's going to chase him down on the Pyro. Is Lambda playing Pyro this time? And Locke is escaping somehow? Surely going to burn to death here. Has already taken the health kit, and there is no hope for him. Does die. Lambda kills him with the afterburn there. And the Cooking with Coolio team have an opportunity to make it 5-0 and just slam both of these maps in. Let's see whether they can convert it, Dreamboat.
Oh, they do pick up Hertz with the Uber, but they can't really do anything. They were all
What?
back by their spawn door, and the Uber came
They just
in.
capped!
Yeah.
They just capped, and the Long Live the Meta team just watched them. They just watched the map
Yep.
slip away from them. They didn't make any attempt, other than one scout, to try and get on the point and block that. I don't understand. But fair enough, both of the maps 5-0, and a game that should have been incredibly close. It really does look like Cooking with Coolio are out to prove something in this season of ozfortress. They're the team with a few players new to Premiership, some upstarts, some upcoming talents, but they're looking really good actually. They're looking pretty good for kind of that middle of the Prem spot, maybe even contesting some playoff teams. That it's going to be an interesting season for them.
Well, and Cookie is a guy I really do want to shine light on. He played really well in the Summer Cup, but you know, he just came out here and said, "This is my house. This is my game," and stomped. He played so well and really was just a key factor in all those mid fights, doing so much damage, cleaning up, and he's looking like he's really ready to say this is his season. This is his coming out party. Keep your eyes on Key. He's gonna frag this.
Yeah,
season.
I agree. I definitely agree. Cookie was having an excellent game, but it seemed like they were outclassed in almost every position as well. Locke was getting the better end of Campbell in almost every Uber fight, even though it was quite one-dimensional pocketing from Locke. And I feel like when he comes up against some of the better teams, it's going to get exploited pretty hard. It worked against the Long Live the Meta team today, and Moop was doing a decent job as well. I know Smithsonian's new to Invite, but he was really just getting pounded by Moop in a lot of these exchanges. Smithsonian this map going 4 for 15 and bottom damaging with 150 DPM. I mean, that is a poor performance even in a 5-0 roll because it lasted 20 minutes. So Smithsonian was just getting bodied in a lot of these exchanges, getting focused down by the scouts and getting obliterated whenever he tried to go aggressive by Moop, who... And Smithsonian seemed like he didn't learn from it as well. He didn't stop taking those fights and just concentrate on long-range spam or blocking the high ground or something. He carried on playing as aggressive. Maybe admirable, but also a little bit foolish, I think. And Moop just destroyed him in quite a few of those crucial mid-fights. Diley as well played really well. So I think it's going to be a really interesting season to see where this Cooking with Coolio team ends up.
That is true. With, as you said, with the newer players, like, they can go anywhere. Like, you think of some of the newer teams in TF2 history where they're kind of that mix of old talent, new talent, and nothing really happens. The players don't really come together. But then there are some of them that come together and absolutely slam. So it is definitely worth keeping a tab on Coolio. They look really strong to start the year, and I'm really curious to see if they can kind of get up into that top tier area, compete with a team like Jasmine Team or Ego, depending on how you want to pronounce it. I prefer to call them the Waffle Team. Going with my Eggo waffles.
Yeah, I think it'll also be interesting to see how they stack up against Can't Stump the Trump and Home Alone, who have some players that have a lot more experience and should, I think, on paper be better teams. But this Cooking with Coolio team looks like they should be able to contest them. I think they might get just destroyed by Ego and Jasmine T when they come up against them. The one-dimensional pocketing is really going to hurt them, I think, although it can carry them through some of these lower-level games. I think you have to rely on something a little more elaborate than that when you go up against these truly top-level teams, but I think certainly they should be aiming for like a third, fourth place position just off the back of this game. They looked pretty good.
There's definitely nowhere for them to go but up from here. I mean, it's a great
Unless
start.
they lose all the rest of their games, Drooper. I mean, they could do that.
They can go down,
flop.
but
they,
I don't
the
think
only
of
team
the
that can
very
go up from
poor
here.
thing.
The only team that can go up from here is Long Live the Meta, because at the moment they're right at the bottom. These these guys got obliterated.
They can just stay at the bottom.
They could
I
get
just meant
one
in
round.
terms of, like,
I believe them.
that-
I think they can get one round this entire season.
I mean, the only way I think they'll do that is if they can win more than one mid over 2 maps.
Yeah, the
I
mids
mean-
were really difficult for them today.
Yeah, that is really the most telling sign of this game. If you want to look at both sets of logs and figure out how close a game this was, look at the fact that they really didn't win mids.
Yeah, they only won 2 mids out of 10 in the entirety of the game. And both of those on process, and I think both of those got instantly recapped or something. They maybe won 1 out of like out and out mid fight, so yeah, really difficult for them.
Yeah. Well, with that said, it's just game 1 of the season. Some of the best teams ever have lost their first game of the season and gone on to great things.
Have they
So-
Dreamboat? Or is that just what we tell these scrub lords to keep the hubs up?
I mean, I'm Canadian. I live in North America. I watch a lot of American football. The season the Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl, they lost their first game, and then won like 13 others. So I mean,
There we go.
it
can be done.
It does happen. Maybe not in TF2, but it does happen. It's not out of the question. Let's at least make them feel good too. I mean, it is something we do say to make them feel good. But Sideshow, it's been a pleasure casting with you.
Has indeed, Dreamboat. Yeah, it's been very nice to kick off the ozfortress season. I'm hyped to see these games, or maybe even cast a few more. It looks like it's going to be an epic season.
Yeah, I can't wait. Especially as we get to see some of the big teams, because I know where you're going to be going. You'll be going to I-58, and Jasmine T, I think, is the most expected team to go. You never know about Ego, but it is a pleasure, and see you at I-58.